Okay, so let's go through each of these problems right here. So number 1 says graph each function, find the requested information. So you have your vertex, you have your y-intercepts, so now you need your x-intercepts. Remember, your x-intercepts are always something comma 0. I don't know why my pen's not working. Hold on. Stop. Cut. Oh no, undo. Okay. Oh, because it's a picture and it doesn't want me to write on it. It's okay, it's fine. All right, so they're always something comma 0. So something comma 0. All right, so now I have to figure that out. So this is when y is 0. So I'm going to do 0 equals negative 2 times x minus 3 quantity squared plus 2. Let's take the pen thickness down here because it's a little too much for me. All right, so now I need to solve this equation. So I know I can solve this equation by square rooting because there's not an x and an x squared. I just see the x minus 3 quantity squared. So I'm going to get that by itself. So step number 1 to getting that by itself is to subtract 2 from both sides. So now I have negative 2 equals negative 2 times the quantity of x minus 3 squared. Still can't solve by square rooting yet because that negative 2 in front. So now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. And I have positive 1 equals x minus 3 quantity squared. All right, so last but not least, actually, I have 2 steps left. I can square root to solve now. So I'm going to do square root plus or minus, square root plus or minus. So I have plus or minus, and the square root of 1 is 1 equals x minus 3. And now I can add 3 to both sides. So remember, when you write this, you're going to write the 3 first and then plus or minus 1. So I get 2 x values. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 3 minus 1 is 2. So I have 4, 0, and 2, 0. And those are my 2 x-intercepts. Okay, next one you had a question on. I'm assuming the directions are factor, okay? So it says if the 2 doesn't distribute, I can't read it from here, so hold on, let me go back to your email. I can read it from here, it just didn't copy well. Okay. Now, if the 2 doesn't distribute negative 10 because of negative 10. Okay, I don't know what that says. So I'm just going to show you how to do the problem, and then hopefully it'll make sense to you. Going back and forth. Sorry. Okay, so let's see what you did. You did 2 numbers that multiply to give you negative 20 and add to give you 1, which is great. Copy. Okay. All right, which is great. And then those 2 numbers are 5 and negative 4, which is correct. And then you divided by 2. So this is just not written correctly. This is, so your question is if that number is not divisible. So this is 2x. This fraction is simplifiable to negative 2 over 1, and this is an x. So it's 2x plus 5. It's not 5 halves. So whatever's in your numerator, that's your 2x, and what here is your 5. And then your other fraction is x minus 2, like that. All right, next one. Why does this get factored again? Because it's factorable, right? So you found your negative 4 and your 3, divide it by 1. So you have x squared minus 4 and x plus 3. Okay? Why is it an x squared plus 3? Why is it x squared? Because this is an x to the 4th, so it can't be x times x. So this is still factorable. This is a difference of squares. This is x plus 2 times x minus 2, and that's why you have x squared plus 2x squared, x plus 2x minus 2, x squared plus 3. All right, next one, solve for all the solutions. GCF is x, divide, good. I think you're asking why is this? Because you set this factor, and this factor equal to 0 and solve. So you have to set x equal to 0, and you get x equals 0. D, I got lost. I don't understand where I came from. Okay, so quadratic formula, good. And then, okay, so here's where you made your mistake. So I see it right here. 1 minus 16 is not 15. 1 minus 16 is negative 15. So you have x equals 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 15 all over 2. So remember what I told you guys, whenever you see a negative underneath the square root, you know I is in your answer, so you're going to automatically write it down. So you're going to write down 1 plus or minus, and then you're going to so I'm trying to simplify this right here, this root negative 15. I'm going to write down the I right away, I. Now I'm going to ask myself, do I know the square root of 15? Or are there any perfect squares that go into it? And the answer is no. So I can leave it as that, and then all over 2. If you look at, I got to make this smaller too, it's too big. If you look at this, this, and this, they're not divisible. There's nothing that they're divisible by, so you leave your answer like that. All right, this one, where does 32 come from? 2 cubed is not 2, right? So notice you said you have arrows pointing to this and this, but what about this guy? 2 cubed is 8. And then 4 times 8 is 32. And last one here, simplify this. Where does this come from? Factoring this. What's the first thing you're always supposed to ask yourself when factoring? Is there a GCF? Is there a greatest common factor? There's a 3 in common, and you factor it out, and it's x minus 4. All right, that's it. Hopefully it helped.